All right. Shalom, shalom. Call halal Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shah Hashem, Rakah Kwadash. I want to give double honors to the elders, apostles of Great Millstone. And shalom and salute to the hopefully elect from the least to the greatest. So I just came across, well, not just came across, but I've been keeping an eye on this incident that went viral, this Cincinnati brawl. And the first time I heard about it was, I think I saw it on a news channel or one of these, channels or whatever. So I did further research because something was fishy. Because, once the mainstream get to it, they could spin it, in which they have. They spent it to a narrative that the wild Jakes were out there, which Jake is a damn wild animal. But for the most part, Jake ain't going to just come down and just beat up on some white people for nothing. It's always something behind it. So it was kind of fishy when I saw the news, and I'm like, nah. So I did further research, and I looked at, I believe, some elders did a video on it. A couple brothers did a video on it, but I checked out Taylor House Publishing, and I figured, I'm like, no, I was listening to Tyreek Nasheed video the other day, and he had the whole video. See, doing in the news, they just was showing the part where Jake, was responding to what happened. See, these devils, man, they very, very crafty. They'll have, and that's what I believe. That's what they're going to do to us eventually. They're going, us, within the truth. They're going to spin a narrative like they already try to do it now. But somehow, in some way, we know they're going to try to come down on us, and you probably use some AI, and they're going to spin a narrative like we the most horrific people when these devils are the ones that's crafty and evil. And they've been whipping down on us for hundreds of years, but now for somehow they can't beat up on Jake and get away with it anymore. So now they're playing a victim card. Like I never saw someone play the victim card more than these damn Edomites, man. I mean, if you ain't know no better, you would think you would think that we was the ones that had them in captivity. The way they push the news, and then you got this simple-minded what's this dude, this mayor? Damn, I forgot. This senator, and he didn't even he just saw the news part. These people don't know nothing. I looked at Anton Daniels, that coon, that Sambo. I looked at his video, a little bit of his video. I couldn't watch the whole thing because he was just shucking jiving for the white folks. But anyway, so I'm gonna play a little bit of this video, and Taylor House Publishing will go into it because he got the whole video. The whole video show you that these Russian, and it wasn't even, if you could see the video, if you look at the screen, the white guy, the Russian, he's smacking the Jake. Like when in these time of day, when they can't just willfully hang us and torment us like they used to do in the past, what Jake that's going to allow a so-called white man to smack them like that, especially a Jake? Because I know a lot of these foreigners, because these were Russians, they weren't American whites or Edomites, they were Russian. And a lot of times they get away with treating Hamites like that, or they over in Russia. Sometimes they in Africa, and they kind of like smack these Africans around. I saw a lot of videos on these Asians just whipping up on these Africans. I saw one time when an Asian had a belt and he was just whipping up on an African, and I'm like, damn, they gonna allow this? Jake ain't gonna allow that to happen. So what probably happened was these Russians probably thought that, you know, so-called black Americans, they could treat them the same. And they fuck around and found out. You can't just go around and just smacking people in the face like that. And that's what happened. If you look on the screen to the left, you see how we got it divided. You see that Russian Edomite clearly smacking his Jake, and that's how it all started. That's how it all started. These guys were going around antagonizing Jake, and what happened was, at first the people was like, "Nah, these some drunk white people. We're gonna ignore them." But then, as the time goes on, they kept antagonizing Jake, calling him racial slurs, most likely calling him the N word. And you know how Jake, Esau, over in this time in this country, Jake is real sensitive to that because Esau has tormented Jake so much within using that word. So a lot of Jake just snap when Esau says that. You know, I mean, some of us, you know, we don't promote violence, you know. But yeah, it's times where as though you want to be put hands and feet on these damn Edomites for calling you out your name. But we're spiritual people, so you're not going to see us out there. We have to defend if need be. We're not going to let somebody just, you know, beat up on us. We got to protect ourselves, you know. But can Jake take it too overboard? Yes. But who's to say what's overboard and what's not overboard when you clearly can't keep your hands to yourself? I mean, nobody says these Edomites are overboard when they shooting and slaughtering Jake down. That cop that killed Sonia Mason, what's that name? Sonia Mason. He went overboard, but nobody says that. But he blew her brains out, you know. So they making a big deal out of these Edomites getting wailed on, when they should have kept their hands to themselves. When these devils, they go overboard, there's no backlash or no hate. A lot of people say Jake just be reacting to what Esau does because Esau always getting off. So you have Jake out there marching and to try to get justice. You know, and if Jake ain't do that, then these Edomites will get off, you know. But we keep it spiritual, you know, because we know we in some times right now to where there's a lot of racial tension and these prophecies is coming out, you know. But I just wanted to bring this to the forefront because to show you that you can never trust the mainstream media. Because the last few days I'm watching the news and I'm like, they didn't even play the beginning of the video. All they're doing is just playing when Jake reacted to this smack, you know? But they ain't played a part when these white devils were going around calling people the N-word, running up on people, antagonizing them, you know? They just showed the outcome, but they didn't show the beginning of the video and prior to that, you know? So sometimes you got to get the whole story. And a lot of these Sambos were on here saying like Antar Daniel caping for these damn Edomites when the whole time they were in the wrong, you know? Jake was just reacting to what Esau did. And as you look on the left screen, that's how it all started. And it really didn't start with the Edomite smacking at Jake. It started with them going around calling them the N-word because they were antagonizing Jake at the festival because they from another country. They from Russia, so they don't understand how Jake get down over here. So let me go ahead. I think I, rambled enough. Let me go ahead and play a little. Fair use to this Taylor House publisher. I want him to go into it a little bit more, and we gotta be aware that these devils, they didn't already did it. They didn't already tried to blame the ministry on certain things, but just showing you how crafty these devils are when they trying to change the narrative. So let's go ahead and play. a little bit of this video.
All right, peace and blessings, all praises to the Most High. This video is going to give you the truth about what happened in Cincinnati, as viral videos have surfaced of a group of black people allegedly beating up white people. And the media is touting this as some brawls and a bunch of thugs attacking white people. But what they are not going to show you, and I'm going to show you, is what started the entire brawl. First, let's take a look at what the media is saying about this incident.
New questions, but few new answers about the assault downtown that left at least 2 people injured over the weekend. Thanks for joining us here at 4 o'clock. I'm Cherie Palello.
And I'm Ashley Kirkland. Video of this attack sparked nationwide attention, and yet key evidence has not been released just yet. WLWT News 5's Karen Johnson continues to push for answers. She's live downtown with what we're learning and also what public records are showing, Karen.
Yeah. Hey, Ashley, we know at just one person called 911 early Saturday morning. We were hoping Cincinnati police would release that one 911 call today, but so far they have not. Police Chief Teresa Thigi said yesterday that 5 people were charged and the investigation is ongoing, but still the types of charges and names of those charged have not been made public. As Thigi said yesterday, the videos circulating on social media that show at least 2 people getting thrown to the ground, punched and kicked repeatedly do not tell the whole story. We get that. From what we can see, there are 6 other cameras on buildings down here, apparently operated by the city of Cincinnati. We do have public records requests in for that footage. Another question many of you have asked, how many officers were on duty working in the Central Business District during the assault? I asked a police spokesman and was told to put in a public records request, which again, we have. In the meantime, we are learning a little more about the woman who was assaulted and knocked to the ground. Ohio gubernatorial candidate Vivek Ramaswamy says he has been in contact with her.
Thankfully, she appears to at least be gradually recovering based on her conversation with me. We're praying for her safety. But one of the things that she was keen on in the conversation was that at least let some good come out of the tragedy that she suffered.
And Ramaswamy would not go into any specific details about what that woman said happened leading up to the assault. Of course, as soon as the city releases any new information or any of the public records, we'll make sure to share it with you. Reporting live downtown, Karen Johnson, WLWT News 5.
Karen, as we wait for that information, what have you learned about a meeting tonight between city leaders and downtown residents?
Yeah, Ashley, from what I understand, this meeting was actually scheduled before the assault that took place over the weekend. However, from talking to people, a lot of them off the record, they don't want to go on camera, but there are safety concerns. And from what I have been told by multiple people down here, it's been weekend after weekend of concerns. And this meeting is scheduled for them and city leaders. It starts at 6 o'clock at the main library. Of course, we'll have it covered.
All right, Karen Johnson reporting for us. Thanks so much, Karen.
All right, so I'm going to stop it right there before I show you what really happened. But you see the article is talking about, the suspects have been charged. And one article said the 5 victims. And in this article, they're saying, well, the woman suffered a tragedy. But what they are not saying is this fight was started by 2 white men. And one of the white men slapped a mentally ill man named Goonie 2 times. Goonie 2 times is like, one of the guys everybody knows in Cincinnati. I've talked to some people in Cincinnati about it, and everybody knows him. He definitely has some mental issues. But these white guys walked into a crowd of black people yelling racial slurs and then slapped the young man. And that is when the black people put hands and feet on these men. Watch this. This is what started the quote-unquote brawl that is full of thuggery and stuff that we can't have in the city. This is what started that brawl. Let's take a look at it. Now, I'm going to stop it right there. I'm going to rewind it a little bit. That white man, whom the next article is going to say, well, you see this white man being beaten and punched, he is the one who started it. And when the black people finished it, oh, now we are The thugs. Just take a look at this again.
They want it though, yeah.
And I'll stop it right there. But you see, that is what started this quote unquote brawl. Why isn't it the media showing you that instead of painting all of these black people as just thugs or animals who just wantonly attack white people? That is
now as you see, the media, these maniac European devils in action, or maniac Edomites devils in action, right? Why aren't they playing that part? You see how deceiving these Edomites are? You see how Esau, you see now why we call him the devil? He's a deceiver. He's a liar, you know? Because all day yesterday, right? I think, I believe Tyreek Nasheed, he did a live on it, and he was getting some information on it, and he did a broadcast on it, and he was saying that the white guys were going around antagonizing Jake while Jake, was at the festival, and the reason why they was like in like a circle is because they was trying to tell a guy to calm down and telling everybody to ignore him. But once Esau smacked them in the face, that it was all up then, And you got to learn that a lot of these Edomites, they don't know how to keep their hands to themselves, man. Keep your hands to yourself, because none of this would have happened if that Edomite ain't punched the Jake or smacked the Jake. But they think that these devils think that you're so inferior, they're not used to you coming back, defending yourself and laying these damn devils down, Did they take it overboard? That's not my point in this particular video. I'm just bringing out the part on how the mainstream media spent it, That's my point in this video. And they're going to do it. They've been doing it, starting with the elders and apostles on down, And the water to how about Shemi Al-Shai, because even these Jakes, these wicked Jakes that the elders was trying to, preach to them the truth, they were calling, the elders and even the elder at our camp, the leading elder for Baltimore. These Jakes been calling his names and we still strong. He's still strong, and throughout all that, all them people that saw Netta Polite and all them had on their videos, almost every last one of them got caught up in a scandal. They sitting up there calling the elders and apostles and the bishops, the word greatness, but all of them brought up on charges. Polite, look at him. He's locked up for the very thing he was accusing us of. And all we were saying was that's biblical. When a woman get of age, she's ready to have children and procreate. Because if you think about it, the Heavenly Father didn't come up with an 18 or 21. You got to be 18 or 21 or 17 in this state and 17. Nah, he made a natural means, a way to edify, to point out or to clarify when a woman is ready to bear children and ready to be married, right? And it's the thing. They think that we was talking about going around grabbing women up and then leaving them to the bed. No, when you did that in ancient times, you had to stay with that woman. You had to pay the father a lump sum, You had to give him like 50 shekels of gold or silver, something like that. And back then, that was a lot of money. Shit, that might be equivalent to like $50,000 today. Shit, maybe more, because the value of the dollar in America ain't nothing now. So that could have been like $500,000, $100,000, maybe $50,000, depending on, I don't know the exact, but I'm just using that as an example. You ain't leave her alone. You had to stay with her for life, So yeah, that's all I wanted to do. I just wanted to show how Esau will spin the narrative. Let me get a scripture before I close this out. Okay, this is John chapter 8 and verse 44. And it says, ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father you will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and obeyed not in the truth. Yeah, so the way these devils move, they don't like the truth. The truth ain't as far in them. It's not even, they don't even, if they present it with the truth, they'll turn a blind eye. Hence the reason Esau, these are devils. They so much of a devil to where as though they'll know the truth and they'll choose to teach a lie. And they'll still believe wholeheartedly that they right. That's how you know this man is a devil. A lot of these Rothschilds, elite, they know that they come from Esau, but they ain't gonna tell you Jakes that you're the real Jews. They're not gonna do that. It says, and abide not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. And these are some lying bastards, man. They good at it too. You see how the media, how they switched it? They didn't even, these so much of a devils, they could have rewinded maybe about 2 or 3 more seconds, and they would have had the Edomite smacking the Jake. But they decided to play it right when the Jake was starting to attack him. You see what I'm saying? These are some devils, man. They didn't play the part, and it was only a matter of seconds. If they would have rewinded the clip, because I'm sure they got the whole thing. Come on, you saw that these devils got all the cameras, so they really know what happened. They got all the cameras, and believe me, I don't believe. Now, I looked at further videos. They locked the Jakes up and all that, but some of the Jakes are out on bail. They let the Jakes out, but if I was them, I would lawyer up. Because they got the cameras, they see, if they see the whole thing, they'll end up throwing it out. Because these devils was going around antagonizing these Jakes. And these Jakes were only responding to that what they were doing. Now I don't know, I ain't going to into all the specifics on how long they beat up the man and this, that, and the third. Hey, maybe they did go overboard with that part. But I'm just saying, like, then you could use other cases where as though Daniel Penny, like, come on now, choking out a guy. Like, nobody said he was, when it comes to these Edomites, they could do no wrong. Like, nobody said how overboard he went when he choked that homeless guy out to death. And then other incidents, George Floyd, nobody said, of course the cop got arrested, but it took the whole nation of, march and all that to the dude till they really did something. But if nobody even said anything, they would have let the cop off. And that was just one out of many. These cops get off, man. Sometimes I'll be watching these channels, and sometimes a lot of stuff don't even be on the news. A lot of stuff don't even be caught. Imagine how many stuff that's not recorded that they get away with, Let's get Nahum. To close this out, we're going to get Nahum 3:1. It says, woe to the bloody city. Who's that? What is that bloody city? It's United States of America. It said, it is all full of lies and robbery. The prey departeth not. Yeah, this place is full of, I was just on my I was just on my deliveries today, and this damn Edomite got smart with me. I was thinking about I might go ahead and put that curse up on him, you know. But I was just thinking how, you know, that this was our land, the Northern Tribe. If you're a Northern Tribe, this before these devils got here, this was your land, you know. And don't dwell on it, of course, because the Lord is gonna make this place an altar. This will be the lake of fire when the elect is being beamed up and delivered. This place will be a lake of fire, but this was your land, so you don't have to. This was your land first. Esau is the alien. He came here. They act all proud. You know, of course, you got to respect, you know, your everyday walk. But this was your land first. These devils stole this land. They ain't get this land like that. They ain't fight or pay for this land. They stole it, especially from the Native American, the Gad and Reuben. You know, but payback is a motherfucker. Revelations 13:9. Matter of fact, let's get it. Let's get it, because we're going to get our land back, and we're going to get, the Lord going to give us some land and more, you know, and then we're going to have that same devil that got smart with me, right? Hopefully, I'll claim him. Hopefully, the Lord allow me to have him as one of my slaves. And I'm going to remember that day. We're going to remember every little thing you devils do to irritate us up to this point. And we're going to remember all that. We're going to remember these things, man. This is Revelations 13:9. It says, if any man have an ear, let him hear. We all got ears, right? It says, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. Yeah, we got to have faith to believe this, brothers. It will happen. So whether you believe it or not, whether you're here for bear, this will happen, you know. And they let us into captivity. They red ass going into captivity. And they going and they picking that cotton. They picking them that corn. You know, they killed with the sword. All these jakes getting laid out, which they deserve it. But all these jakes getting laid out, sometimes we think, we look, yeah, Jake is ignorant, but we care for our people for the most part, because a lot of these niggas that act like women is because of Esau taking the man out the house. And this actually, Esau complained about Jake, but these the Jakes that he created. Because when Jake was good and respectful and a family put together, they treated him bad. You know, when Jake had their own, they treated them bad. They flooded their cities. You know, so they got the black people that they deserve right now. You know, niggas. They deserve to be tortured by niggas. That's what Esau deserved to get. Now, I'm glad the Most High turned these niggas into niggas so they could get on Esau's nerves. That's what he get. Damn devil got a nerve to complain about a nigga when you created the nigga. When we were respectful and doing what we had to do, being respectful, you shitted on us. You destroyed us. Now that Jake acting all niggerish and wild, you got something to say. You the one that created it. Got a nerd that don't want to be around niggas, but you the one that had niggas all up in your house doing your work. You lazy bum. That should get on my nerves, man. They the one that they got a nerve to talk about how niggerish niggas is when they the one that created the nigga. So they got the nigga that they deserve. I hope these niggas torment them, you know, even more. You created the damn thing, then got a nerve to want to talk about, you created the nigga. Damn devil. But I hope this was edifying to the body. You know, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Lord willing. Come soon, Lord. Come soon. We want up out of this, but we gotta suffer. So how long it is, we gotta do. Lord willing, we strive and stay in this thing. You know, that's what suffering is. But till again, I hope this is edifying, brothers. Shalom.